Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Cocktails and Rocktails with me, your most notorious groupie, Allison Rouse, author of, well, this little book right here we've got tonight, and these other little guys right here where you can get that. My merchandise, everything is down in that description, so go down, fiddle about, because you know I like a little fiddling in my about. So, and as always, I just want to be so thankful to everybody here who's just creating such an amazing family with me here. All my sisters, brothers, nieces, nephews, whatever we are, we're an awesome rock family. It just really reminds me of the days when we actually, I don't know, didn't have cell phones and connected with each other at concerts. So thank you for continuing that 80s vibe here, and for the love and the support, the ideas, the sharing. You guys are awesome. Welcome to the new members of the family. For some of you, you may have to pass the test. Stand on the kilt in your head. That's right, Scotty. I'm talking about you. Anyway, thank you as always for all the love and support, you guys. It really, truly does mean the world to me. And you know, one of the things that means the world to me is this whole rock and roll backstage scene. Not just rock and roll, because as a groupie, I traversed different eras, different cities I lived in, different bands, different genres, different, everything. Because music is just so incredible. And, groupies are drawn to all of it. But today we're going to kind of compare a couple things. I'm not going to say, versus this or that, but we're going to talk about rap groupies and rock groupies and how they compare in their experience and the long run of being groupies. And today we're going to have a little local proper, the lay effect, because there's an effect to getting laid with rock stars. So kind of falls in. It's a little goza base. It's a little salty, a little sour. So delicious. Our locals proper, if I didn't say it. This one, they have a regular one that's under 5%. Then they have this one that's at the liquor stores. So everybody get laid, kick up your feet, and let's have a little cocktails and rockatails. Ooh, did you hear that? That sounds so good. Oh, the sound of fresh, crisp, yummy beer. I love it. It's my favorite thing on, well, I would say the summer, but we know it's all year round, you guys. And don't tell me to lay off the alcohol when I'm stating an opinion about John Bon Jovi, because in case you didn't notice, I don't even drink the whole beer throughout the whole thing. So, all right, everybody, kick up your feet, say cheers, big ears. Cheers, big ears. Oh, God, it's one of my favorites. I do love this one. It's just that nice, subtle, kind of salty, soury sweetness with this really great goza bit. It's just delicious, you guys. So if you see proper anywhere, if you're in Utah, you're at the liquor store, pick up the Lay Effect. It's absolutely delicious. Like I said, there is one in the liquor store, but it's a lower, or in the grocery store, but it's a lower alcohol. Utah is so weird. On there, we don't even have private owned liquor stores here. But, and speaking of privately owned, every groupie, no matter whether she's country, rap, rock, whatever, religious groupie, because there are religious groupies. I live in Utah. There are plenty, trust me. But, so whatever they are, we are all independent, wonderful women who are just taking control of our lives, our bodies, doing what we want, what all the men get praised for, but we get belittled for. So this has nothing to do with anything, with race, color, nothing. This just has to do with, there is kind of a difference to existing in the rap world as compared to the rock world as a groupie. So, I think that, like I said, we're both very independent women. I have notes as usual, because I have a lot of things to say when I'm thinking about throughout the day or whatever. So we both wanted fun. I think rap and rock groupies are just really free-spirited, amazing women who know themselves, their bodies, and what they want in life. And sometimes in life, women want to have just as much as men between the sheets in their prowess, in their experience, in their sexual decisions between consenting adults. Let's put that. So, I think we both approach it with the same way. We have the love of the music. We're drawn to our tribes. We definitely want to be part of something, and with rap groupies, I think one of the coolest things that they do, they know how to really get the opportunity to move up. Like Lil' Kim, You know, and I mean this in the most respectful, amazing, just in awe way, because I wish I had the same kind of ability to be as bold and open and going after everything they want. But I'm not. So rap groupies definitely know how to utilize their friendships and their opportunities to parlay into what they want. So like I said with Little Kim, you know, Lil Kim really became more famous as being the side chick for Biggie Smalls. You know, she really kind of went out there and she's like, I see you doing it. I want to do it. I love this. You know, she was so drawn to the world. And sometimes back then, especially, women only had the opportunity to get a foot in the door when they were walking through the backstage one. So, you know, Lil Kim kind of became really famous for being the side chick with Biggie Smalls and the fight between her and Faith Evans and stuff like that. So, and who came out on top? Who's the most famous? Lil Kim. All the way. She, you know, was at the Grammys with Diana Ross standing next to her doing one of those things because she had the shell on her ta-ta. You know, but she was at the Grammys. She was, you know, got a rapping career that people loved her, and I thought she was talented and good on these women. Amber Rose, look at Amber Rose. She definitely parlayed it into being an influencer and doing, you know, these women did it their own way. And me personally, I have a ton of respect for that, because as a rock groupie, we definitely did it our own way, especially in the 80s. You know, we took those backstage doors and we kicked them in with our stilettos, thrashed our whips, and we're like, here we are, bitches. You know, the Donnas has a song that I was listening to today that really reminds me of my attitude as groupie. I get what I want and I like what I see. Basically, that was, I think, all of our approaches, that we were going to get what we wanted. So the rap girls, they're more bold in their desire, in showing their desire, in voicing their desire to create a career, whether it be in rap, whether it be in the videos, you know, because that's what boosted Amber Rose, and that's kind of what boosted, you know, being a rapper's girlfriend or wife or mother of their children, and the drama that really, they built very intelligently and smartly, respectfully off of all that. As to where rock chicks, I think we're kind of a little bit more afraid to, you know, utilize our friendships with the rock stars to move forward, which we should not be. Because as rap women, when they do that, they 100% should be applauded and do get applauded. And they do go on to stellar situations with their career as influencers or rappers or models and stuff like that. As to our rock chicks, like I said, we're, you know, and the rap chicks are once again, applauded and praised and supported by that community and by other communities, you know, by anybody who's had them in the fashion, the music, everything. They're supported by different communities. Rock chicks, we are called money-grubbing whores who are only after one thing, the fame and the fortune and this and this and that, when it's not true. We have the same love for the music. We may have ambitions that may have to do with rock and roll, because I know plenty of women that worked in the business that really went forward, like Wendy Dio or Sharon Osbourne, but then you could only be managers. You know, there was a lot of great rock chicks, but that got praised, like Lita Ford, and really Lita Ford was just as big as groupie as me. We slept with a lot of the same guys. But, you know, I think rock chicks, we just really kind of get pigeonholed into being those money-grubbing whores after fame and fortune. You know, so I think we kind of get a harder judgment than rap chicks, just because how we've been portrayed in the media, how we've been portrayed through scandal. Because, you know, you watch the scandals that Lil Kim went through, and oh my God, neither of them were being called a hooker, prostitute, murderer, druggie, nothing like that, like I was through my scandal. So there was definitely a different approach to the side of groupiedom, which sisters, we are all groupies. It does not matter what kind of music you like, what reason you're hanging out, anything like that. We all have that same ambition and love and natural need to be part of the road family, part of the musical family. So I don't understand why society can accept rap groupies but will condemn rock groupies. And we've both been condemned equally to be made to think like our existence backstage is very much a jump-off situation. You look at the movie Straight Outta Compton, and there's a scene when the band's first on the road, they're in the hotel, they're having this big orgies, everybody's just jumping all over the place, people are left and right, just humping and loving and rolling on to the next one. And same in Rockstar, like where you see after that first gig with Mark Wahlberg and Jennifer Aniston, and they walk into the after party, and it's sex, drugs, rock and roll, orgies, strippers standing in line to take a turn at the lead singer, and it's all bullshit. So I think we all get a bad rap, so to speak, because of movies like that. And whether it is true or not, it may be true for some groupies, but it wasn't true for everybody. And it wasn't true for the groupies who were the ones like me writing books or, like Amber Rose and Little Kim and parlaying it into a much bigger career. Because groupies, we generally don't get taken seriously, but I think rock chicks get the least taken seriously. Because like I said, in both of those movies, there were these big crazy scenes. And I think for me, it was in both of those movies, it was kind of a representation of the excess to come. It doesn't necessarily mean that orgies happened every night. We all know nobody that I know or talk to or myself or my friends in the 80s were standing in line to fuck the lead singer or the drummer or whoever. We didn't take turns. We kept singular relationships. When that band was in town, that's who you were with. Same with rap groupies. You made connections. And there's a kind of a funny story that I saw before from a rapper, Havoc. He was talking about how he had met this chick out on the road. They really connected. They just got along so well. And he just had such a great time with her, and he got her number. Well, one night, a couple weeks later or something, he didn't really say how many weeks later or whatever, but he said, he was talking to, he said P, so I don't know if that's P. Diddy or a different rapper, but he said, yeah, this other rapper asked me if I knew this chick, and he was like, yeah, I was talking to her. He's like, we should both pull up and, a little action happening, a little party going on. So they did, and when he said it's like when they pulled up first, it's 10 guys, then it's 20, maybe it's 30, but again, here we go. One girl, mind you. Which if that's what you want, honey, that's cool, because we've all watched porns of, Houston and stuff like that. And what was the lead singer of Biohazard, Evan's ex-wife? Starts with a J. Why can't I remember? But, we all were Houston 500, where she 500 guys. And so if that's your fantasy, cool. Live it. That is your decision as a grown, adult, consenting, self-respecting woman. That's perfect. But the way he said it, he was like, we all just kind of started drinking and smoking, and we kind of really forgot the reason we were all there. They were all there to take on one woman. Or for this woman they expected her, didn't call her, didn't ask her, but they expected her to take them all on, which she was game. But he said he walked into a little bit into the evening. Oh, sorry, dry mouth. But he said he walked in, he heard all this, ooh, yeah, baby, kind of stuff from the back room, and him and another guy walked in. They just casually walked in and saw her with one of the other guys that they had come up with, the rapper guy, and a tour manager, and baby oil everywhere, which I've been there. Because I chose that. I wanted to see what it was like. I was living my fantasies. And so was this girl. Because he was like, she just took off her clothes, was walking around in her undies and stuff like that. And then we heard this. And he's like, I walked back and I saw that and I lost her number. Oh, okay. But you didn't judge yourself or any one of your friends that all went up there to choo-choo that girl. You know, ride the train. You just judged her for living her fantasy. And he also used the excuse that she wanted the booger sugar, so was willing anything to do with it. So why is it okay for the guys and you don't need any excuse, but the girl is the hoe? Why? And it's the same with rock chicks. You know, it's like Vincent Paul. He didn't even have to see me with another rocker. I just had to tell him why I moved back to Salt Lake City and was not in Las Vegas anymore because a man that I was with for 13 years died next to me. And oh, by the way, it's the bass player of the millennia and from one of the biggest legendary fucking rock bands. So there's definitely that judgment from certain, and not all of them by any means, but certain rappers, certain rockers, they judge you for being with other men. But yet they're with other groupies and bringing their friends over to choo-choo with you. Choo-choo. So I think that's definitely something that both rap groupies and rock groupies get pigeonholed into. And we get judged by society that way, even if it is some of the rappers. Because really, let's face it, he was doing something way worse than she was doing. He invited the neighborhood for a block party and she just expected a couple friends. So he had the nerve to be like, yeah, I lost that girl's number and never talk to her again and this and that. Well, dude, I wouldn't talk to you again because what were you planning to do? Was she going to have a say in what was happening? Because the second she walked in that room with those two guys, she said what she was doing that night. And that's what rap groupies and rock groupies have always done. People think it's the rappers game. Oh, fuck no. Or the rock stars game. Oh, hell no. The groupies. We know what we want. We know what we're not going to do. And we know what we will do. And if we ain't doing it, then that's part of what we know we're not going to do. If we're doing it, then let us have our sexual experimental freedom or our fantasies or our favorite kink or whatever it is. Women can have that just as much as men. But still, because we're groupies, we get judged. And we get judged very harshly against the wives because Lil' Kim, she was judged against the wife. You know, when Amber Rose was just a girlfriend, then she married, that it was a whole different ballgame. She gained a different respect. You know, I mean, as a groupie, society kind of tends to, even though, you know, some people may be like, oh, you're awesome, you're cool. Some people, and not people here, this has nothing to do with any part of our family, because we're all very open-minded when it comes to rock and roll and stuff. But you know, I think that people tend to elevate the wives more than they do the groupies. And when it came to the Lil' Kim and Faith Evans thing, I think they both kind of had equal crowds behind them. They had equal support from different sides behind them. And like I said, Lil' Kim, you know, it's like, if you want to become known, you have to marry a rock star, remodel yourself as the how-to girl or the fix-it girl or design your underwear or bikini line. You're expected to do something like that comes in secondary to the rock star. As to our rap groupies, they're not, and we know as rock groupies, we're not secondary to anybody either. But I think rock groupies are rock stars tend to like their groupies very boxed in, very for their private world, for behind the stage, for behind the hotel room doors. As to rap guys, we'll take our strippers and groupies right on those red carpets with us. Oh yeah. Yeah. You know, songs about the hot chicks and, you know, the groupies and stuff in rock and roll, there's some praising, but there's some that never cared for what they do and games that they played. You think you know what that song is about? You think you know his lies publicly? You don't. Never cared for games they played. That was the band game. So I'm being judged as not worthy as more than just his road wife because I'm sleeping with other rock stars when he's sleeping with other groupies. It all comes down to that double-edged society judgment. And plus for rap groupies, they didn't have someone like Scammy Les Pars who, this is the definitive of what a groupie is, and this is it. This is what the box it's going to stay in. You know, she made this ironclad societal wall, you know, with that and Almost Famous, that really contains what a groupie should be to society. Because when you think of groupie, that's the first thing you think of. Rock chicks. Right? And what's the next thing you go to? Penny Lane, Almost Famous, Scammy Les Pars. When in reality, that era of groupiedom was just another step to what us 80s ladies did to it. We fucked that whole scene up. You know, we made it our game. You're not going to judge us because we're sleeping with that. And especially with English rockers, they want their groupies in their little ideal box. As to, you know, and we had Scammy Les Pars that kind of put a ceiling to how far we could actually be perceived. Rap groupies, they didn't have anybody who pigeonholed them or boxed them in, so they were able to break any walls so easily, and I love it. Because still, to this day, it's like, when people think of rock groupie, they think of Scammy Les Pars and Almost Famous, when in reality, they were such a tiny blip. And us rock chicks, what's our opportunities if we're not the wife? Oh, we can write a book. Yeah. We can write a book and build off that. As to where Amber Rose, she can write a book, she can get a modeling career, she has a whole influencing career. She's really done an amazing job. Lil' Kim got a rap career. There's the book, the Confessions of a Video Vixen, that became much more, that gave her more opportunity. You know, I've been in MTV videos for bands, so have a lot of women. But when it comes to the rock side, we are limited. And part of that is because we are expected to be something very, very specific when it comes to rock and roll. As to where the rap groupie, there was no limit set. And I respect that and I envy that in a way, because I fight tooth and nail to constantly be credible in my field. Even though I have 30 some odd years backstage of rock stars, 8 years relationships, 13-year relationships. I am loved and respected, but I'm still afraid to ask those guys, you know, could you give me advice? Could you open a door, maybe get my foot in? I don't want to ask that. As to where rap women, they are bold, rap groupies, they're bold and not afraid. I wish I had some of the cojones they have. You know, and Amber Rose also said something, you know, what is it? She built a career off the infamy, and she was accepted more for doing that because she was a rap groupie, but because I, in my scandal and my infamy, am pigeonholed because somebody else is telling, oh, she's a liar. So they believe this person that calls herself, that she's the only person that ever labeled herself the definitive groupie of all groupies. The fuck you are. So, you know, I just, like I said, I'm envious is not the word, because I don't get jealous. I just speak the truth of how I'm feeling about someone. Because I don't like someone, it's okay. But it doesn't mean I'm jealous. It doesn't mean somebody else is jealous. I just wish there were not those limitations put on rock groupies, you know. And, you know, both of us, both rap and rock groupies, have our respective musicians praising us. We've seen Kiss, Aerosmith, Judas Priest, Metallica, everybody, you know, tub-tards, groupies, yeah, they're the best chicks. They're awesome, they rock. Same with rap guys. They're praising them. So both our respective rock and road families, you know, groupie families, give us the respect and decency both in front of the camera and behind it. And Amber Rose, another thing that I was going to say that she said, sorry, I'm reading my notes. she did not want to be known for just her relationships. But as groupies, no matter what genre you follow, no matter what type of groupie you are, I think that's what anybody's ever going to really see us as. Amber Rose, Little Kim, they are one of the few that have been able to rise above that and move beyond it. With me, with Roxana Shirazi, with, even Scammy Les Pars, with, we're seen just as these rock groupies. We don't know if Scammy Les Pars likes to play pick-a-ball or anything like that, because she kind of made it her identity. As we all know, I have more to my identity than just the rock groupie. But it is, what I'm known for. And Amber Rose said something else, that she did not want other people telling her story. She wanted to do it her way. She's been in survival mode for 30 years. I've been in that same mode for 22 years. So I get that, because I've had to do a book that I never planned on doing to have my voice heard, to do the YouTube channel to have my voice heard, to tell my own story. And I think that's another thing we kind of, as groupies, no matter what side, what backstage, what band we're around, what genre, whatever, I think that's one thing that we've got that strength, that we don't want our stories told for ourselves. We want to tell our own stories and do it in our way. And that goes back to that we're both strong, independent women who know what we want, who know who we are, and we're not going to allow society to choose who we are for us. So I really think, what I'm trying to say in so many ways is, I think when it comes to rap chicks, I totally respect the fact that they can go in and kind of parlay it, because they don't have a glass ceiling or steel walls holding them in because one groupie. You know what I mean? And some other fake groupies, as we know, there's, look up for the Terror Twins and stuff like that, who justify that I'm so almost famous. Or Rockstar, who degrades 80s groupies as nothing but jump off whores. I think I really wish that the rock groupies did not have the defined walls like rap groupies do not. Because, some rap groupies, of course, are going to get a bad rap. Everybody's going to think a groupie is a bad rap. But rap groupies, they can flip it. So can the rock groupie. It's just a harder climb for the rock groupie. But we both go in knowing how much we love the music, how much this is our family, how much we just love the excitement, the privacy, the intimacy, the private planes, everything, the sound of the tour bus in the morning, the attention that makes the butterflies we get from the rock stars or the rappers. And keep in mind, I'm not just a rock groupie. I've hung out with different rappers, Ice-T, Be Real, Cypress Hill, E40, Luda. I've hung around a Snoop Dogg. I just love music. So as a groupie, for me, wherever that music I love is, whatever direction it's coming from, I'm running down that pathway. So, and I've hung out with country. I've hung out with pop. I've hung out with rockers, obviously. I've hung out with 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. So I think it's time that we kind of stop pigeonholing groupies in general. That we kind of see the women they are behind the backstage pass, behind the society's general consensus. And I think that, and maybe I just wish I had a little bit more knowledge or guts to ask my rock star friends for more advice or more insight into, I wish I had that strength, because I think after decades and decades of rock chicks, and this is, like I said, this doesn't have anything to do with race, religion, nothing like that. Because we're all different. We're all a variety of beautiful, amazing women backstage, whether it's rock or rap, country, whatever. Country's a little more specified. But, I think that society in general really should just kind of look at the strength that we as groupies have to have to deal with being put down and still live our lives with gusto, still write our books, still parlay our careers because of that. You know, people forgot really that what Amber Rose or Little Kim, people don't realize what was going on in the press back then, you know, so they just don't see it, but they will always remember what was going on with the rock chicks. The fuck is with that? So, all right, there you guys go. Tell me your opinions. Rap ladies, if you're hanging out, I want to hear some of your stories. I would love to have more of you on here so we can talk, because I think we do have everything in the world in common. I just think you're not afraid to ask like I am. And because, you know, like I said, rock chicks kind of get more held down by the, oh, you were just out for the fame and the fortune. They didn't pay me. They weren't paying my bills. There was no fortune about it. I made my own fortune. I made my own money. Just like the rap chicks did. Just like, you know, Amber Rose and I were both strippers. There's a lot of us that were strippers that are married to rock stars. You guys have no clue. So, and just like, you know, one of the first Atlanta housewives, there was a woman there who was a stripper. Nobody gave her shit about it. But this one, I must be a hooker, prostitute, murderer, druggie, right? Because we're just lowlifes. So, but yeah, tell me, and like I said, rap ladies, if you're hanging around, I would love to hear from you, have you on the show. So get down in those comments. Other rock ladies, tell me what you think from your experiences, because I know a lot of different rock and roll chicks, you know, from New York or Los Angeles, that we all hung around different genres as well. So do rap chicks, you know. Love for the music, it knows no boundaries. So tell me what your experiences are. Tell me if you'd like to come on and, you know, see if we know some of the same people. But sorry, I had kind of a brain fart there. But so tell me, guys, and just want to say thank you as always to everybody who made it to the end of the video, who's really just watching the commercials, really supporting with your silent kindness. Thank you so, so much. And for those of you who are just sort of hanging out, being quiet up in the nosebleeds, get down there, get to know, hit the subscribe button, hit my bells, become part of the family here at Cocktails and Rocktails. We'll see you next time. Cheers, big ears.